All right, give us a brief introduction.
Hi, I'm Teresa Hodge. I serve as our East Tennessee District Nazarene Missions International NMI President, and I also serve as the Trevecca Region Coordinator for the Southeastern United States. I'm a mother of two wonderful sons, a proud grandmother, and a proud member of the Table Church of the Nazarene. As a teen, I saw missions as the ultimate career. I really wanted to be a missionary. So as a junior in Trevecca, I served in Student Mission Corps in the jungles of Guyana for that summer. When my two boys started school, I started teaching school, and then I had an opportunity to earn a master's degree, free with the state of Tennessee, to teach English as a second language, and fell in love with teaching other cultures. I began a deep dive into how my church, the Church of the Nazarene, shared the gospel around the world. Then to my surprise, Betty Patton, who had been the East Tennessee District President for years, asked if I would allow my name to be considered as District President when she retired. Thinking that I would never be elected, I agreed. Then I was totally surprised when I was elected. That election led Jim, my biggest supporter and constant companion even after his stroke, to Sri Lanka, India, Cuba 3 times, Haiti, Guatemala, and this February will be our 3rd time back to Guatemala, to Kenya and Brazil. However, the most powerful story from my time serving in missions didn't originate from a foreign country. It originated right here at this church when it was called Real Life. At this particular weekend, Sid and Crystal Golson, Real Life missionary leaders, had planned a big Chinese celebration. But Jim Williams didn't speak about China at all. He told a story about a Muslim woman leading her family to Christ. But leaving the church that morning, Pastor Eric called me aside in the foyer, introducing me to a beautiful young woman, calling herself Shay. Tearfully, she told me how, as a Muslim, she had come to Christ as her Savior when he came to her in a vision. But unlike the family of the woman in this sermon, Shay's family threw her away. They rejected her, wouldn't speak to her because of her new faith. They became family. Shay and Luke, her husband, called us Papa Jim and Mama Teresa. Their children were our children, and we love them dearly. I've been asked, after all these years, what keeps your heart burning for mission? Stories. Stories like Shay's story. Stories of retired missionaries, like Jimmy Obote's amazing parents, Willington and Helen Obote, who toured our district for 2 weeks, staying in our home, telling their stories around our kitchen table. Stories like stories of those of Joshua and Katie Hond, who served as our church plant pastors and are now missionaries. I wish everyone knew that the Global Church of the Nazarene is full of these stories, rich, wonderful stories originated in the United States and from around the world. Stories often originate from small acts of faithfulness that grew bigger than we would have ever imagined. We as a district had committed $20,000 for property in Cuba. Didn't know where that was going to come from. We had the idea of having a silent auction at family camp. We thought we might make $100 or so. Other people were donating really rich, beautiful gifts, and I had nothing of great worth. But then I looked around my house and I saw my mother's china. The china that I had given to her when I got my first job as a young pastor's wife teaching school. And I thought, can I give this away? It will be worth far more than the $50 that I paid for it. If I get $50 back, I want to give it to this project. I gave that china. We had our auction, and somebody gave $1,000 for that china. And that went right on to the Cuba project, which went way over $20,000, and we were able to build the church on the sea in Cuba that still stands there now. Like this small act of donating Mama's dishes, small acts done sacrificially by anyone are used by our good big God. Life involved in missions can be summed up in one sentence: I can never thank God enough for the second lifetime He gave me to serve with Jim through Nazarene Missions International and his people. Thank you.
All are welcome.